Fedor Emelianenko in the UFC versus Fabricio Werdum in the distant future. Enter the arena uncut. The Don Juan Banks alongside live from South Korea, the best MMA analyst on YouTube today, Tommy Razorstein. Fedor Emelianenko, Fox Sports. I want a rematch with UFC champion Fabricio Werdum. If people don't forget, Fedor Emelianenko faced Werdum in Strikeforce, and Fedor was on a long winning streak. He was damn near invincible. It was a fight that I betted on, and I made a big mistake because Tommy Razorstein got me into betting. And what happened to Fedor? He got put in a triangle choke, and he tapped. We're going to read this article and get straight to Tommy Razorstein. Fox Sports. Last New Year's Eve, former heavyweight champion Fedor Emelianenko returned to MMA competition. After several years in retirement, the legend's win came against the overmatched MMA novice Jadeep Singh in Japan. Furthermore, now training in the Netherlands, Emelianenko told Epic MMA in a recent video interview below that though he's expecting to fight in his home country of Russia's next, he has bigger goals to keep competing in the sport and at the highest levels. I have nothing to prove, but I want to fight the best in the world, and I would like to fight UFC champion Fabricio Werdum, he said. Werdum submitted Emelianenko and handed the Russian the first legitimate loss in his MMA career. The defeat would be the first of 3 straight for the former Pride champion. Unlike many of his peers from the Japanese organization, Emelianenko never transitioned to the UFC. As such, the quality of his opposition since the dissolution of Pride has varied widely. Even after years of failed negotiations, the 39-year-old still seems to hold out hope that he'll eventually be able to fight in the big leagues again. I have been asked about the UFC a lot. Our doors are open, and we are talking about it, he continued. Maybe it will happen in the future. The fighter seemed to suggest that being granted a fight against the champion Werdum could be the key to him signing with the UFC. According to Fedor, he's ready and willing to take on the Brazilian at any minute. Again, I would like to have a rematch against Fabricio Werdum, he said. Again, I've told UFC many times that I want and would accept that fight. Razorstein, you've always dreamed and imagined that one day Fedor Emelianenko would be walking that aisle and getting inside of the octagon. Is this the deal breaker?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good fight. I would like to see that. You know what I would like to see, too, is him fight Mark Hunt. That'd be pretty cool.
He fought Mark Hunt and
2 Pride guys. Yeah, that'd be a cool fight.
Yeah, he beat Mark Hunt Kimura back in the day. But Mark Hunt, the knockout artist, just a knockout over Frank Mir, just knocked out Bigfoot Silver. Mark Hunt is a fighter that it seems like he has beat the test of time.
Yeah, and these heavyweights, they can, you lose speed and then you lose strength. But you don't lose strength until like 45, 47. Running backs have a long heavyweight boxers, they'll fight. Some of them, have fought until like their 50s. It's not typical, but Randy Couture fought later in life. So if you don't need the speed and you just have the strength and you know the skill and your chin's still good, he could definitely go back into MMA. I would like to see that.
I think
his chin's still good.
If Marco Krokop could do it. I know Fedor Emelianenko can do it. You got Frank Mir, you got Josh Barnett, you got some old fighters still trucking around out there. I mean, Nogueira was getting knocked out consistently and not consistently, and he just retired. So I know Fedor Emelianenko could join the UFC. There's been speculation that Werdum could have
Yeah.
used performance enhancement drugs in the past. I'm not saying that he has, but I'm saying there has been rumors out there. I mean, Mike Tyson was caught doing an interview after some of Fedor losses, and he basically said that Fedor stayed around and in the era where fighters were using performance enhancement drugs, and it caught up to Fedor. And since they got the United States Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, doing the testing, and there's loopholes and flaws in USADA. I've been very outspoken about that, but a lot of fighters have been getting caught on performance enhancement drugs. Kimbo Slice, the notorious Ken Shamrock, the Soldier of God, Yoel Romero. So there's been a lot of names out there that's been getting caught on performance enhancement drugs. One, Marco Krokop, but he says that he wrote it, that he told them that he had used this.
Yeah, but Fedor never looked like he was on steroids. You know what I mean? Like Fedor is one of those guys, kind of pudgy. He didn't look like he was Alistair Overeem. Where it's like,
Overeem is
what
getting
the
paid.
hell?
Overeem is
You knew
deflated
Alistair Overeem was on something.
like a pin
He
in a
is way too big.
basketball.
Yeah.
Everyone knew Alistair Overeem was. In fact, Overeem was suspended for banned substances, and also Bigfoot Silva. So and last but not least, Tommy Regerstein, and don't laugh, Goat Anderson Silva. But no, that was Viagra. Oh no, that was a sexual enhancement pill. That wasn't steroids.
Sexual enhancement pills.
That's what he said.
Whatever. Whatever.
Well, what about Vitor? Vitor is. But yes, Razorstein, maybe Fedor feels like with drug testing, he has a chance to showcase his skill once again. I think Fedor going to the UFC is everyone's dream, and I think that would be the icing with the whipped cream and cherry on top to end his career. I believe that he is looking for it, and if the UFC is open, man, would that be a big opportunity for Fedor to get a title shot against Fabricio Werdum, assuming that he gets through Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, plus, the heavyweight division is so bad
Mhm.
that, they need fighters. So it isn't like it's welterweight or the lightweight division where there's a long fucking line. Anyone can get into the heavyweight division. I always thought that Rampage should go into the heavyweight division. And Rampage, he likes his boxing. He doesn't want to, go to the ground that much. The bigger you are, the less you go to the ground in general. So I would like to. I still like to see Rampage do it. Get up to about 250. He could definitely put on the weight. He has a hard time getting down. He never makes weight at 205. So he gets at 250, all muscle, Rampage, and all he does is want to box. He'll be knocking out everyone. People would love to see that shit, man. That'd be awesome. I just think that's something that he's missing out on, and the heavyweight division needs it. So they definitely need Fedor. That'd be good for the
So you're
sport.
basically saying right now, Razorstein, is that the window of opportunity has never been greater for Fedor to come to the UFC. You feel that the UFC is in need, and you feel that Fedor is in want. So that should be a equation that may work out.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, for Tommy Razorstein and D. Donwan Banks, what I'm saying, if no one didn't hear it, is that I do believe the same. I believe that if it was at any time that Fedor will come to the UFC, this is the moment of opportunity. He has another fight. Let's say he pulls that off. I think UFC will and him will come to a negotiation, and he will have probably 3 fights in the UFC, and the dream will finally become a reality. So for Tommy Raystein and D. Don Juan Banks, peace.
Peace out.